Okay, since I'm live, look at this mess over on the other side. So just have to fix this. Sorry, you guys. Let me fix it. And it's one of these where the it's all messed up in terms of it's too close. And sometimes it does that. And I have no idea why. And maybe one day I'll figure it out. Anyway, we'll see. Okay, you guys. Let me go over and start up over here. Gosh, that was a little bit of a hot mess. Okay. All right. I'm pretty sure we're good. So I'm just going to assume we're good. And do a check going over there. And let's get Facebook over here. And see what's going on. My goodness. Sometimes, you guys, it's just, it is what it is, right? Let's hope it's got sound. Okay. And we do. Excellent. Okay. So I'm going to carve myself out a little space on my desk because I'm a little bit crammed in here. I don't know how I ran out of time today, but I did. Okay. So I'm just going to check for the chat and to see if anybody is joining me over here. Let's see. No comments yet. Okay. Oh, good. There's a fire truck going down my street. I don't know if you can hear it, but there is. Oh, my goodness. Okay. Let's see. Nobody's coming. It's 2:02. See if anybody shows up. I'm going to have to adjust my viewing area in a minute so that you guys can see a little bit better. But until people start popping on, I won't do that. All righty. Let's see. I'm just going to go over and double check to see if I can see that I'm broadcasting on, and I'm on live. Okay. Look, we're supposed to be. But I have nobody here, so we'll just hope that people show up. And anyway, yeah, okay. So let me do that, and then let's go over and we'll start our live. Okay, our presentation. I'm just going to lower this a titch. You wouldn't believe how close this is to my table. It's a little too close for me, so try not to bang it. But I didn't want to be too far away. Okay, so we're going to use the fabulous new suite called, grab my thing, Kintsugi Inspirations. And this is the bundle, Inspiring Imperfections. And this is what we're going to be using, this whole suite, in our class on June the 22nd. It's a virtual class, so you can join from anywhere. But let me show you some of the things that we're going to be working with. So we are going to be working with the bundle, which is the Inspiring Imperfections. Okay. And we've got the joined together 3D embossing folder. That's part of the suite. Okay. The class, let's show you what comes in the class. So the class is going to come with half a pack of the Designer Series paper. Look how gorgeous this is. Now, these cracks that you can see here with the gold, look at that. They are what this Kintsugi is. It's a Japanese art form. So it's broken pottery that is mended with your urushi lacquer, and it's mixed with powdered gold, silver, or platinum. And then it's put back together, and it's actually, the piece is more gorgeous than it is when you start. And it was interesting. I was watching Call the Midwife the other day, and Reggie's pottery got broken, and Trixie's brother put it together and explained Kintsugi, and I thought, wow, that's so timely. Okay, so the colors in the Designer Series paper are Basic Beige, Misty Moonlight, Old Olive, Petal Pink, and Lost Lagoon. And of course you can use white. Okay, so that's the you're going to get a half a pack of the DSP. You're also going to get some of the gold foil because you're going to need that for the projects that we're going to finish. Okay, We're also including 2 rolls of the ribbon. So we've got the basic white and the Misty Moonlight. This comes in a pack called Misty Moonlight and White 1/4 inch starter ribbon pack. So I think there's 2 yards of each. You're going to get that. And then you're also going to get a full package of the flower accents. Okay. So that's all included in your kit. We're going to make 8 cards, 4 designs, 2 of each. Okay. And I think that's it. June 22nd, 10 a.m. is the start of our class. And it's all virtual, so you can join from anywhere. All right. Should we get started with our card today? Okay, I'm going to start with a piece of basic white. I've cut this to 8.5 by 5.5. And I'm wondering if, let me just make sure I've got my chat coming up here because I don't see anybody here. And that's really weird. So you might be here and I just can't see the comments, which I think is kind of weird because they're usually here. Just saying. It says the video over on my Border Buddy, it says the video is ended and it actually has not ended. So I don't know what's going on. Don't know. Okay, I'm just going to keep going. You can watch it later on the replay. Okay, so we're going to score it at 4 1/4. Then I've got a piece of Misty Moonlight. It's cut to 4 by 5 1/4. Okay, and then I cut 2 pieces of designer series paper. So here we are. I'm going to put one on the bottom and one on the top. And I think I'm actually going to change the orientation of my card. I did a card, this morning that was on a reel. I made a reel for my Instagram, and it is a different orientation. So I'm going to do this more of a landscape than a portrait. So I've got that one. Oops, I'm actually doing this the opposite. I'm going to put this one on the bottom. I'm just making sure my flowers are kind of going the right way. That's why I peeled that off. And then I've got my other piece that's going on the top here. Okay, and I love this. It's like cherry blossoms. I'm just going to, move down a titch. Just line that up. There we go. Now, if you wanted to, you could put a piece of ribbon across here or even a piece of cardstock. Okay. Now, what I've done is I've taken a piece of the designer series paper and I have used the dies to cut out some of the pre-printed vases here. Okay, and that's what I've got here. Okay, so I'm actually going to pop these up. Now, the reason I have these already done is because I was going to use them on a different card, and then I didn't like the way it looked. So I just thought, oh, I'll save that for another day. And then I saw it on my desk this morning, and I thought, oh, I could use that in a card. Okay. I'm starting to think I've got the wrong day for my live, but I know I haven't. So I don't know. I don't know why things aren't popping up. You could be watching and trying to comment and nothing could be showing. I have no idea. Okay, so I'm going to just glue those down. Isn't that gorgeous? Look how pretty that is. Okay, let's go ahead and glue this down. Since I don't have anybody that I can see that's watching me, I'm going a little bit faster because there's no one to talk to. So that's what we've got. Kind of nice. Now I've got a piece of white, basic white here. I'm going to grab Misty Moonlight ink and I'm going to grab a saying. And this one is, "There is beauty in your history." I'm using that one from this stamp set because I want to use this die cut. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and run that through my die cutting machine. So let's bring in our mini Stampin' Cut and Embossed. Oops, I'm going to pop that on there. And usually I tape this down, right? Oh, I don't like that. I see that oh no, that's okay. I thought I had misinked that or something. I'm going to take a risk today. Ooh, big risk. I'm not going to tape this down with repositionable tape. I'm just going to hold it as it goes through, and then it should be okay. Okay. Alrighty. Move all of this out of the way. And there we go. There's beauty in your history. I want to just sort of tuck that under, and I'm going to just glue it down. These ones I popped up with the dimensionals, remember? Hopefully you saw that. Stick that under and just run that like that. Okay, love that. And then the last thing I want to do is grab those pretty embellishments. Those, what are they called again? Flower accents. And let's just glue these on. For the class, you're going to get so many of these. You're going to have tons to play with. Okay, I'm going to do it like that. Okay. So there we go. Now the card that I made originally, this is what it looked like. So that's the portrait and that's the landscape. I think I like the landscape better, way better actually. Don't you love those gold accents? Aren't they pretty? And then if you joined me the other day, you would have seen me make this card using the elements or products in the suite. And this time we stamped them and colored them in. So go back and watch that video, sorry, that I did on Sunday. Oh my gosh, I can't speak. Okay. All righty. So that's, oops, let me bring that back in. But it's really a little far away. So, oh my gosh, I'm going to go really low so that you can see that. How's that? And I'm going to come over here, and I think there's something wrong with my broadcast personally, which is why there's nobody for me to see or comments. So I'm just going to keep going, and hopefully you watch it on the replay. I don't think I said I'm Allison Solomon. Stamp Crazy with Allison, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in New Westminster, British Columbia, Canada, which is on the west coast of Canada, just about 3 hours north of Seattle, if you're familiar with the United States. All right, so thanks for coming. I'm not sure if you saw me live or not, but I will see you on Sunday at 10 a.m. Pacific time. Looking forward to crafting with you then. Bye for now. But it's not.